Hello, Internet, everyone out there in TV land. How are you doing? Let me know how the sound sounds to you. As you can see, well, I had to move the microphone. I mean, seriously, I had to dust. It was chores. I do chores. I mean, it's the maid's month off, and also make America grateful again. One person at a time, and that starts with yourself. Welcome back to the Super Sully Sunday stream. Where did my pen go? Gee, did I just do that? Oh, are you okay? Let me check. Fuck. If you're knocking, this thing's so sensitive. It's more sensitive than Pikachu. Pikachu. You dig the music? Does it work for our show? Let me know in the comments section. Let me know in the live chat. What do you like? Should I leave the headphones on? Do I look more like a YouTuber with my microphone exposed again? I kind of like the microphone exposed because I got these pins on the mic here, and I used to have one of those round shield things that's to help with your plosives. So when you launch yourself on the microphone, I got enough problems. Seriously, I smack my lips. I say, I hem and haw. I say, There should be a drinking game. Every time I do any of those, you got to... Oh, I'll put up the game just a little bit then. Hey, Fair Monarch, how are you? Check that. How you doing? All right, there we go. Actually, I can see that. AL is in the house. Hello, Phil the Kill. Everyone's starting to file in. That we go. Yeah, I knocked up the gain just a tap, and I've got my beverage. I've got a hot water, lemon, clove, and honey. Good to see everyone out there. Hopefully it will soothe my throat. Sorry. I've been on shows all weekend. I was on Wes's Thinking Critical yesterday. Great show. I hope you tuned in for that. If you didn't, I'm going to go fetch you the link. I'm going to get you a link. A linky link. I'm going to get you a link. A linky link. It don't stink. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I can hear it. Where's my... I'm walking home from my LCS right now. AL said that. Awesome. I hope you got some good books. Let us know. What did you pick up this week? And I'm going to let you know what I picked up this week. I literally read 29 different floppies this week. And I bought 4. How's that? Is that like 20%? I am no good with math. Fair Monarch says, I went to my local comic book shop to pick up some stuff I couldn't grab on Wednesday. Saw a Sabrina issue with the Sonic crossover I couldn't pass up. As in Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Which witch would that be? Was it on Archie Horror? Or was it on IDW? The questions we have. And these comic book shop style conversations. Here, coming to you from our Boston studios, Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America, North America, planet Earth, which is the third stone from the sun. In this, our very own solar system, located in the outer spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy. And our local group of galaxies, which is in a larger formation called the Virgo cluster, which is inside an even larger, grander filament of galaxies called the Laniakea supercluster, which is inside of the known universe, which even could be part of an even grander structure, just a tile in the mosaic of the grand, unrealized, unplumbed, unmeasured, yet to be realized. Multiverse of all possibilities. That's right! Welcome to the Super Sully Sunday stream, where we make America grateful again. Where I'm Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, Reverend Eric O'Sullivan to you, not Mr. I didn't spend 8 years in evil theological school to be called Mr. Thank you very much. Sully's just fine with me too. Let's see. They had Sabrina under Archie when Sonic was there as well and crossed over in the big crossover trend of the 1990s. Lane Kramer's here. Lane was here early. He said it's almost Sully time. AL says she only got G.I. Joe issue number 5. Well, we're going to stick a pin in that, as my therapist says. I wouldn't know. I don't listen to her. She shouldn't be wearing those follow me home boots to our sessions anyway. Wow! A little TMI there. Sorry, I'm going to ignore that. What did you say, Pikachu? Show notes. Oh, yeah. What's in the bag? We'll play that a little later. We've got 4 funnies this week from our local comic book shop, our LCS. Let me know about the music, too. If it gets repetitive, if it's a little annoying, if it doesn't suit the mood and tone and timbre of our show. I don't know. I selected this. This is StreamYard has given us some free stuff, and one of them is like media assets, and this is called Night Driving. And I don't have it turned up a lot. I just, just a little dab will do ya. Today we got on tap for the show and the copious amounts of show notes that my executive producer, Pikachu, he writes for me. I am just the talent. I read what he writes, no more, no less. Okay, so if you got concerns, if you want to blame someone, it ain't me. You blame Pikachu. Please, it's all on you, Pikachu. It's all on you. I just got a tax ad. Yep, that sounds about right. I have to do my dad's taxes. God bless you. That's great. But yeah, the copious amount of show notes that Pikachu gives us. If you want to be a YouTuber, this is a great time for a screen grab. There's a lot of information here for a young YouTuber. Just have a really good microphone, a decent webcam, have something to say, and then give yourself a structure. Give yourself a time. We used to have a 20-minute time limit. I used to set this timer for 20 minutes, and then you would hear turkey's done. And then we would know that it's time to conclude the episode or time to wrap it up. Let's see. But look, we have an opening, we have a closing, and then we have things in between to fill the space. That's our content, that's our subject matter. We also have some things to look for. Remember, we used to do actual comic books, floppies, physical copies. So look for defects. We call them things. Cover price in today's word. What is its book value on the web? No, I actually ended up getting the Overstreet guides to pricing comics. Look at the indicia and the colophon, which is the little details on the inside on the first page, the fine print that's on the bottom of your opening splash page. And then wrap it up. You tell people to like and subscribe. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Well, it used to be daily, remember? And in a few minutes, we continue this comic book shop style conversation. And we have been for a couple of years now. We started off with the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days. That was a great experience. We then changed all of my long boxes and switched over to short boxes. While doing that, we got to rebag, reboard, and rebox my entire accumulation. I wouldn't call it a comic book collection. We're not actually going to talk about Snow White. No, why not? I didn't see it. I have an opinion, sure. It's gotten me into some hot water here and here. I don't know. It's called my hot takes. Lane, 1 second. Also, the 10-point scale. What is your recollection, and how do you use the 10-point scale? What is it like? We're going to get to that. We'll also pull a random comic from our spinner rack and look at it because we love comic books. And also, we're going to review some comic books. I'm thinking of starting a math tutoring video since my students can't do any math. Yeah, and if you ever watched HBO's The Wire, Officer Prebeluski, after he assaulted his father-in-law, the captain, got busted out of the unit and got fired from being a police officer, and he ended up being a school teacher. And so Mr. Prebeluski was teaching the urban kids probabilities by using dice. And here's something practical that they already understand, they already know how to use, and he turned them into he gave them math minds. It was nice. I like that. So, Mr. Sullivan, it's actually O. Sullivan, O apostrophe Sullivan. O is the prefix, and it means son of. And like your Mac, Mick, and O. The Jewish people have Bat or Ben. Ben Gurion means son of Gurion. Bat Gurion means son, daughter. And so that they, Nordic people have Anders son or Anders daughter, stuff like that. And but so did I manage to get in touch with Yule for that spectacular Spider-Man issue I was after? From Yule's stream, I think Wes reached out to you, let me know to let you know for his sale. And guess what? Wes did. Wes sent me a screen grab of you, and thank you so much. I believe Yule's sale is today, so I'll find out tomorrow or the day after. But I will follow up with him. That was cute. I thought that was really nice. That he was very thoughtful, and you were very thoughtful too. Enough to remember me. That was because I want that issue. I do. It's gonna go here on my spinner rack. I read 17 Marvel books this week. Let's see. I'm getting one of my tweets is blowing up my notifications. I responded to Jeremy Adams with my Daredevil 175 cover. The subject was favorite comic covers of all time. Go! So I did. I got 662 likes on it. That's a lot from me. And, my notification's been blowing up since yesterday. Blowing up my phone! You hear that? That's the train. I got two types of trains out there. I got the subway, which uses a third rail. It's an electric system. And then there are the locomotives for the commuter rail, which use Amtrak style lines. But no Amtrak goes by. Dead Man Walking, how are you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. Phil the Kill says, do I need to switch to calling my comics by accumulation and not collection? I'm doing it wrong. Well, for me, it's barely a collection. It's more of an accumulation of love. I just keep on getting all these random things, and now I have 20 short boxes, and I gotta find somewhere to do, to do with them. Some of them are just I haven't touched these comics in forever. I haven't read them for a long time. Maybe we should do retrospectives and being okay, let's check out this arc here. We're going to do 52 weeks, 52 through 48. That will take up, 12, See, I don't do math. Neither. And Ale has to start over because of her fire. And, a 1,000-mile journey starts with one step. And you will. And you've already, I hear that you're populating with Pikachus again. Your Pikachu collection is, the Pikachus are starting to be fruitful and multiply. Pika's down for that. He's a lover, not a fighter. He's retired. He's looking to get. I should get a nice Pikachu with the heart-shaped tail. That's how you tell the boy Pikachu from a girl Pikachu. The boy Pikachu has a thunderbolty tail. Well, the girl Pikachu has a heart at the end of her tail, and they're so cute together. Yeah, some Pokemon are gendered. It's true. It's been like that since the 151 days. That's where my Pokemon knowledge begins and ends. That first season of Pokemon, the cartoon with Ash and Misty and Jesse James, Team Rocket blasting off again. You know, yeah, blowing up my Twitter with her background music. So laid back. I mean, like, yeah, I should be smoking a joint. Yes, WOKE, Progressive Radio. That's right. We're not sissies. You're the sissy. We're going to be getting together for a group hug, yet all the while minding our social distancing. That's right. Hugs outside of 6 feet. Getting together, but separately. Words are violence. Silence is violence. Remember that always. Words hit hard as a fist. But remember. I know, huh? And Brock, too. Yeah, I don't forget Brock. How could you? How could you forget Brock? Did Ash end up marrying Misty? Did Pikachu ever evolve into a Raichu? Did he ever grow up? Or is he going to stay like a Peter Pan? Remember, Pikachu didn't want to evolve into a Raichu. He wanted to stay a Pikachu. Ooh, I like the way you think for your Monarch. That's a good one. Good news, we will be moving home soon. Yay! And yes, the Pikachus are multiplying. They are good at math. That's right. Oh, boy. Yeah, Pikachu will always be a Pikachu. That's it. And that's Pikachu's choice. And Pikachu also doesn't like to be in the ball. And so he doesn't, Ash gives him that, grace. He doesn't live in the ball. I don't put you in the ball either. You don't fit anymore, kid. You put on a few pounds. Jeez, so have I. That's what he said. You punk, man. All right, let's review some comic books. I got some Marvel comic books to review. I got X-Force number 9. It's part 7 of 6 of 7 in the X-Men Hunt crossover, which hasn't been all that bad. When, to be honest, as a lifelong X-Men reader, like X-Men was kind of like ground zero for crossover events because they had, the New Mutants. They eventually had Wolverine. Then they had, X-Factor, and then they had, just New Mutants became X-Force, and so it goes on and on. So it goes. Written by Jeffrey Thorne. It's Forge's X-Force team. They got cool uniforms. We've got, Surge is dead. Maybe. What is dead in comic books? We've got Ascani, who is Rachel Summers, from an aborted future. I'll say it that. It still kind of exists out there in the great multiverse of possibilities, but for the most part, the future where Rachel comes from it won't be the future of the X-Men of her now. Take it as that. But she's called Ascani here. She's been being called, well, she's been Phoenix before. She's been Ascani. She's also been Prestige, which I thought was a terrible name. She was also married to Franklin Richards, when she's from. Yes, when, from here. It came from my spinner rack. Yeah, this one. This is the facsimile. But still, yeah, this is where Rachel Summers comes from. Ghost Rider, motorcycle hero. Hey, Mo, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by Jim's show earlier. I couldn't access the live chat. He does it through a different OBS than StreamYard. Through Stream, this microphone. This is a Blue Yeti. It's a Blue Yeti set. It came with an arm, and it was a nice set. It was a couple of people gave me suggestions. I asked. I was becoming a big time YouTuber, and on my way here, I asked questions. I got this I got the best advice from Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic. He's the one that said to me, what you need is a really good microphone, a decent webcam, and have something to say. That's a paraphrase and a distilling of what he said. But that I really feel like I nailed the spirit of what he put across to me right there, that I'm giving to you too, paying it forward. So I got so buttons. So I got this Blue Yeti. I asked around, and actually literally asked Tom Connor Jr. of Midnight's Edge After Dark. It's like, Tom, I'm starting out. Like, what would you suggest? He said, Blue Yeti. 2 words, Blue Yeti. That was it. Looked it up. I found a nice. Now you can get it without the boom arm, but I would suggest the boom arm because I'm tapping my desk right now. Now, if your microphone is stationary on your desk, that's going to come right through as vibrations, and you would hear that. It would be very disruptive and kind of almost unprofessional, even in this amateur space, but still, I mean, it works best. Yeah. And it looks great too. Then I get my pins on my microphone. I'm like a big time YouTuber. I got my headphones on. We got music going. All I need are some cool thumbnails. Maybe some googly eyes on Brie Larson. Maybe some googly eyes on Rachel Zegler. Oh, Rachel Zegler. Oh, Rachel Zegler. Let's go view my channel. You want to look at my channel real quick with me? Shit, what do? Share this tab instead. I'm going to look at my channel real quick. This is what my page looks like. I rarely ever look at it from this point of view. But why is Rachel so insufferable from 1 year ago?
Living with opioid addiction can be...
Yep. Put that on mute. Hey, look, advertisements. Hey, Pika, look, it's you. Wow, and you were thinner. Wow, so was I. Shut up, Jerky Jerkerson. But yeah, it's why is Rachel so insufferable? And this is my most highest rated video of all time, about 1,100 plus views. And I my one of 2 Rachel Zegler contents, and I got 1,110 views. This premiered August 15th, 2023. And her then 22-year-old person was then being, called out on all of her media faux pas and her, Rachel Zegler, googly eyes. Exactly. But yeah. I know, huh? I think she's adorable. Here's my story. I dated a Latina for 4 years. It's when I started learning Spanish too, because I needed to know what I was being yelled at with. That's hyperbole and a joke, but she was young. I was 31. She was 22. This was I met her 21 years ago. We were together for 4 years. Great kid. And we had a lot of fun. It was decent, but it ended, and that's that. So buttons, as my mom says. But she was a 4th generation Mexican American from, Brownsville, Texas, near the border, and she was like petite, and she resembles Rachel Zegler a lot, and with the attitude, the spiciness, the fire, they're feisty, caliente. I work with a lot of Latinos and Latinas. She's got spark. I kind of like the cut of her jib, but then also she's downright unlikable and insufferable. But that goes for a lot of modernity and a lot of young women. That's young feminists, young women who are feminists. You know, that just come off as insufferable and unlikable, and I get it too. You know, it's more of you don't have to be liked to be respected in a man's world. So I get that too. So yeah, that's remember that video? Remember when? I hope I don't get busted for like reused content. Weird. Poor girl. But she's legitimately talented. She can sing. She can dance. She's very good looking. I think so. I mean, and I don't know. I don't have the problems with Rachel Zegler the way everyone else does. And I love the whole sphere of outrage culture. There's a YouTuber that we all love and enjoy, or we don't. Richard C. Meyer, formerly Diversity in Comics, now known as Comics Matter, with your boy Zach. And hey everyone, it's your boy Zach, and this is why birthday party clowns, 50-year-old men who bitch about Disney princesses are all grifters. I'm like, whoa, Zach! Lay it on me, man. I love it. Yeah, totally. I find Zegler insufferable. The only thing going for, and she can sing, she can dance, and she's good looking. You know what I mean? Even if you don't think she's good looking, you could probably say you can see how other people can say she's good looking because she ain't ugly, unless you go for the whole far apart eyes. Well, you know what you want and you can't harmonize. Find a girl with far apart eyes. And if you're downright disgusted and life ain't worth a dime, find a girl with far away eyes. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, she is kind of pretty. I mean, maybe that's her bad angle. You know, don't photograph me from here. You know, if you photograph me straight on, I'm going to look weird. You know? Fear Monarch says, Richard has been a clickbait clown himself for years. He's now just noticing it and is raging at the audience his action created. True. I'm with you there. I'm a big Ethan Van Sciver fan. I wonder if like half of his antics he wouldn't do if we didn't fucking egg him on in the first place. I mean, I really don't egg him on, but you know, I'm there for it. I'm knee deep in those chats. Those are my people. I know. All righty, let's review some comic books. So yeah, I started talking about X-Force, and it was a perfect time to daze away from that conversation because that was a better use of time than talking about X-Force number 9, which is just another part in this X-Man Hunt mini X event. Charles Xavier has busted out of his prison cell that he deserved and earned, and to help save his daughter. Him and Lalandra have a daughter, and this daughter is the Empress of the Shi'ar Empire. And it appears that Charles has one Krakoan resurrection egg, and we've been on this MacGuffin of who is in the egg, who's not with us, who is this story about. Lalandra's in the egg. Yeah, so Charles uses his last Krakoan egg to bring back the love of his life, his wife, Lalandra. How is that? How many? He gets around. I know he's like maybe like the Elon Musk of the Marvel universe. Maybe a little bit of Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking had a wife and he had mistresses. How the fuck does that happen? Apparently his pecker still worked. That's great. Rachel Zegler. Yeah, I got nothing, I mean, geez. But I do agree with Zach about, watching 50 something men go apoplectic over a Disney princess. There is some kind of sage advice there. And I'm not going to go see it. It's not made for me. Like, who's it really made for? Modern audiences? They don't exist. That's a myth perpetuated by the culture makers so they can peddle their wares to the unsuspecting masses. WOKE, Progressive Radio. That's right. We're going to have a lovin'. We're going to sit around, hold hands, and we're not going to start any fires in Minecraft. Okay. Dwayne Muth. Awesome. Good to see you. Yeah, you get enough of that in this week's New Champions number 3, where there's there's like 12 different young characters. Like I was counting them earlier in other books. I got up to 9 between like the X books and Strange Academy. Like you got to 11. So now then there's like wow, I don't want to count. I really don't. Story is everything. It's all made up. Yeah, I know. Well, they brought back Captain America as well. It was only supposed to be for mutants, but Captain America got killed in AVX, was it? Or I don't want to look it up. Don't do that to me. And if is that why he's a clone? Because I know Captain America, who appears in West Coast Avengers, otherwise known as Flag Smasher, is the real Steve Rogers, who was Hydra Cap. And then there's Captain America, who's a Steve Rogers, but that was the heroes wished that into existence through the Cosmic Cube as to fix, their thing. They got their, so I can't keep these stories straight. Who can? You can't count on one of the editors. Dwayne Muth. How's it going? Good to see you. Ooh, shit. So buttons. Werewolf by Night number 8, written by Jason Liu. Some really decent art by Sergio Davila, because he's got an actual inker in R.A. Jimenez. I think the art is pretty good because I like texture. I like hatching, cross hatching. I like just shadow. I like light. I like real drawings. I mean, then it goes through the filter of being digitally colored and then digitally lettered. So buttons. I mean, I can't bitch about that anymore. That is just the way it's done. Ultimate X-Men number 13 came out this week, written and drawn by Peach Momoko, colored by Peach Momoko, and it's at least the story is coming to a head, and it's going somewhere. And Shadow King is now fighting against Hisako Ichiki, who's armor, but still, I have my same problems with this book that I've had with this book. See you later, Mohammed. Salam, thank you so very much, and we'll be here when you get back. If you get back that late, I got supper tonight. I got meatloaf dinner with scalloped potatoes and green beans, and a nice bachelor meal prepared for me by my supermarket for the price of $8. For the price of $8, you could feed a bachelor. That's right. There are hungry single men out there with no women to cook for them or clean. But for $8, you can ensure that a hungry bachelor, can survive for just one more lonely day on planet Earth. Won't you please feed the hungry bachelor? For $8 a day, you too can help keep a dream waking up the next day. It's not me, it's the music's fault. I'm just getting into this. I like it. I can hear my own voice now. So it makes me very cognizant of wanting to modulate my voice and deliver in a more succinct and sexy way. It's my PM DJ voice here in WOKE Progressive Radio. Deadpool Wolverine 3 came out this week. That was pretty good. I wouldn't spend more than $4 on a comic. Right now I have G.I. Joe rolled up in my jacket pocket. Woo! I got a variant cover, so I'm not going to roll it up. Holy shit, I just burped. That's gross. But yeah, once again, it's Peach Momoko's girl boss. They don't have to be a good guy. They're a girl, because Viper, and then the only two men in this issue of note are the Meister, who is the children, the Atom leader. He's a bad guy. He's a creep. And then there's Shinobu Kageyama, who is the Shadow King, and who has been Hisako's, schoolmate and creepy kind of. He obsesses over her, and may have had an influence on her friend's self-deletion. There are no heroic men in this book. There are zero good men in this book. Every male in this book is terrible. They're weak. They're pathetic. They're cruel. They're abusive. They're a big bad. They're a megalomaniacal leader of a cult of terrorists. Someone brought up Quanon's brother, and I'm like, that character was on for 3 panels of 13 issues, and it wasn't even. And I'm looking for heroic men. Maybe it was such a feminized male that I didn't even realize that this was a man in the panel. I can't even tell you what issue that was. I'm going to recommend, if you look up on a late 70s movie, it's a spaghetti western. It's called A Man Called Blade. Indeed. It has a hilarious intro song that is serious and so over the top that it takes itself seriously. Indeed. So yeah, Ultimate X-Men, yeah, it's a big miss with me, and I was looking forward to this book. I was rooting for it. I dropped it early off of my pull list. Issue 4, I saw what was up. I knew I could smell it coming a mile away. This isn't going to get any better. This is some girl forward stuff. No, my gripe with this and with Dennis Camp's Ultimates is that these are general audience kind of properties. And these are so hyper-focused for a very, niche market. At least I know they're doing something different. Lord Thoth, LT! Good to see you. Thank you very much. But yeah, my long-standing, my year plus long struggle with Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men. I love her as an artist. I'm not too sure about her as a writer. But it's really, the beautiful color palette, beautiful panel progressions, great art. Really spooky, creepy, gruesome horror. But there are no heroic men at all. There are no good men in this for 13 straight issues. That would have cost you $65. I'm blessed and grateful. I only spent $20 on this, and I dropped it at issue 4. And guess what? Every issue since then has proven me right. I don't want to be right about this. What I want is a fucking great Ultimate X-Men story that I can get behind, feel part of, and feel good about, and that it's fun. I mean, and just seeing that there's no place for boys and men at this beautifully, rendered table, and this new, that sucks. All right, it's dirty pool. I mean, I think that's rigged. That's stupid. It's not fair. And you'd hear this from a girl, right? Oh, that's not fair. Well, it's not fair. It's not. I guess girls decide what fairness is, right? Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, we're all human. But yeah, I mean, fucking, yeah. Next on the list is Ultimate Black Panther number 14. Now we have an art change on this. Stefano Caselli takes the month off, and we have Carlos Nito as a guest artist, and it's just another good comic book. I think 14 straight issues of really good superheroics. The Ultimate Black Panther is the most typical and most normal of superhero books in all of the Ultimate titles so far. Ultimate Spider-Man's great, but it's literally the Sopranos of superheroes. And I can see it in the pacing. Like, you'd be watching Sopranos and being like, why isn't somebody getting killed each episode? Where's the action? Why isn't someone getting whacked? But something huge like that does happen every couple of episodes, or so Ultimate Spider-Man has that kind of pacing. And then it has these focuses, or it's foci, which is the plural of focus, on interpersonal relationships, talking over dinners, stuff you see in The Sopranos. You might be better off for it. That ain't the X-Men. That's right. Right. I mean, Joelle Jones, and I hope she gets more and more work. Is a great artist, but who did not write a great story for a Wonder Girl series. Sure. And Yara Fleur was such an undiscovered country. You know what I mean? I think I see a lot of potential in Yara Fleur in her continuing story. And I hope that they don't age her up quickly. I hope they keep her at like this age, you know what I mean? And enjoy this character. Interesting. I wouldn't upset. I'm not insulting. I watch The Sopranos once a year. I want to do a show. I want to do a Sopranos show on this channel. I'm going to eventually. I know way too much about Sopranos. It isn't fair. They took away any titles away from Male's Boys. They need good fiction too. Yeah. How am I feeling, Sully, on Ultimate Wolverine so far? I am kind of C- or C level range with it. Same with you there. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, Chris Condon, I can see like these. I hate activist shit in comics, and I would hate it on any side of the aisle. But it's just more of like the days of progressive lefty activism in fictions. It can't go away quick enough. I mean, it didn't. No, nobody wants that. But I feel like Chris Condon is very compatible with Dennis Camp. And I'm looking also at Chris Condon's Green Arrow, which does have that, that smacks of activism, smacktivism. If you're going to rewatch a TV show each year, Sopranos is a damn good choice. Yeah, I watch it I got a box set, and I watch it with the commentary, the cast and crew commentary tracks. They're so enriching. I love that kind of level of just like it's introspection from behind the scenes. I love that stuff. What else did we read this week? TVA number 4, The Time Variance Authority. This is a terrible book. It's badly drawn. I mean, I didn't. It's made for It's made for Disney Plus TV fans of Loki season 1 and 2, where they introduced that TVA, right? Sam Wilson, Captain America, number 3, Legacy, issue 769. Not a great book, and written by Greg Hupak and Evan Narcisse, who used to be one of the boys in the show had a shill writer for one of these shill sites, and I looked it up like, oh wow, that's an unpleasant but maybe horseshoes and hand grenades range of description. We got Psylocke number 5, written by Alyssa Hugh Wong, and yeah, first 5 issues. That means this part of this first arc is over. Kwannon beats the bad guy, kisses her boyfriend. Some decent art. The art elevates the story. Decent art can elevate a mediocre story. That's my neighbor with the scooter. They go terrorising around in a gang. Yeah, you gotta step away from the curb too when they pass by. Don't give them a target. Seriously, it's like fucking Clockwork Orange out there. You think I'm kidding? I'm in Boston. A fight could break out at any minute. I ate an heroic amount of roasted garlic today. I just drank the dregs of this honey water of ground cloves. Well, good thing that the ground cloves. I hope I don't have this clovey thing like stuck all night. Oh, live and learn. That was a mistake. Won't do that again. Chris Condon can write comprehensible story. Can write a comprehensible plot though, and shows he can actually have some story beats that are not stupid and inane. Green Arrow and Ultimate Wolverine has that. Hold on. Oh man, I just ingested a mouthful of ground cloves. I think my tongue went numb. Thank you very much, Phil the Kill. I stay in on St. Paddy's Day. Oh my gosh, there are violent drunk leprechauns everywhere. They're underfoot. But I got a Pikachu. And he's Irish by osmosis, and because he's in my family. So this is he's on eye level with the leprechauns. He hasn't got a pot of gold yet out of him, but electroshock can't help. Wow. Yeah. I stay in on St. Paddy's Day. Well, I'm not a young man anymore. I had plenty of days that I did go out for St. Paddy's Day. Enough that I been there, done that. Live and learn. Seriously. Yeah, it's great that Kwannon comes home to John Greycrow and they have a little wee, presumed at the end of it. That's nice. One World Under Doom number 2. Written by Ryan North. I've read it twice. I try to like it. A lot of it's a conversation between Valeria Richards and Victor Von Doom. And I kind of like Ryan North's use of Doom, like his voice. I like when Doom sounds like Doom, when he uses himself in the third person and sounds very arrogant, but he's got this great kind of uncle relation. He's got a great avuncular relationship with his nemesis kid, who is the next generation's genius leader, Valeria Richards. And so it's Valeria coming to her uncle Vic and being like, you need to tell me, what is your intention? My parents are going to do the best they can to take you out. He's like, oh, child, let me tell you, I will explain all my plans to you. I can't keep a secret from you, nor would I. No, nor would Doom keep Doom's secret from you. Oh, sweet girl. Oh, summer child. And but once Valeria mentions the word fascist, and that's used in context in yet another Marvel magazine. We saw this already in Blood Hunt. We had Nazi vampires, literally. Who was Captain America fighting? Baron Blood. In his part of Blood Hunt. We just had Orcus in the fall of the House of X, in the fall of the Powers of 10. Literally called fascist by every good guy. Even so much so that there's Jerry Duggan and I think I've seen it twice with the treehouse that was the X-Men's headquarters in Central Park, Manhattan, is now a memorial to all the heroes that died standing up against fascism, which was Orcus. And so they've gone to this fascist well way too many times, especially because it's a hypercharged leverage word by one side of the aisle. And they've been using that and punching Nazis. And everything's a Nazi. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. This one's a Nazi. Hey, this one's a Nazi, so it's okay to destroy their business. That's not fair. No. But still, it's like this. It's all about punching Nazis. And, in the beware of dictators and fascism. And they use this is literally the terminology. This is the vocabulary of the left, the progressives. And it's like nobody wants to hear that anymore. How are we supposed to heal if you keep picking at our scabs? I mean, geez, what's going to make you happy? You had complete control and power. Look what you did with it. You made everyone vote the other way. I don't have answers. I don't have more questions, but it's more of like I was giving One World Under Doom a chance. I don't mind Ryan North's writing as much as other people. I thought the art was pretty tight. But Disney Marvel just couldn't help itself. I'm looking at it right now. I want to see it. Editor is Tom Brevoort. Go figure. Annalise Blisa is the associate editor. Martin Biro is the other assistant editor. Indeed. RB Silva is doing the art, and I think it's pretty good. The art is pretty tight. I don't know. I don't have answers. All I have are more questions. But it's just, I'm so sick and tired of just I just want typical escapism. Without respect, we reject. My friend Victor von Doomcock says that. I have an autographed 5x7 of my liege. Him and I are. I am also. I am the anti-pope. I am the anti-pope and guru of Xanadu, which is a kingdom at the center of the earth, where Doomcock rules with his iron fist and his steel helm that keeps his rage in, and he protects us from Harvey Cthulhu from pushing the button. Don't push the button. There's also Zabu. He's a squirrel. I love Doomcock. And yeah, Doomcock actually was one of my first, YouTube kind of friends. Like him and I, like we both share the Bhagavad Gita. And so we speak philosophically and spiritually sometimes. And so I am the anti-poop and guru of Xanadu. I just haven't been around Xanadu much lately. I've been on the horizon in the new frontier, bringing word of Doomcock's glory to all as she vanquishes the foes and the cultural locusts who are trying to erode our pop culture. Put them to the rack. Sundays used to have a great show on YouTube. Hold on, let me find. I can find this. So I saved this picture for a rainy day. No way. It's under Twitter images. The Inquisition. You hear that? Vroom, vroom. GHI. Where is it? Oh, it's here somewhere. Putting pop culture to the rack. I'm looking for something. Please excuse me. Please enjoy the music. It's really having an impact on my delivery. Maybe I shouldn't listen to this. Where is it? Oh, wow. This is... Wow. I can't find it. I thought it was here. Oh, well. Sorry about that. No, I don't. Hey, James. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. So yeah, One World Under Two, number 2. I mean, yeah. New Champions, number 3, by Stephen Fox, and it's got like so many. 6 new. There are 6 new champions. They're fighting a time-lost version of the old new champions. And so there are 6 heroes, 2 villains. So that's 8. There's 7 with Amaranth. Wow, there's just so many. Hey, Mike Jenkins, good to see you. I like baba ganoush. Not sure if that's the same thing. Baba ganoush is actually an eggplant puree, best eaten with flatbread or pita chips. Baba ganoush. And yeah, a new Champions number 3. It's just probably a 5-issue, trade paperback waiting to happen. Let's throw a bunch of these mashup kid sidekick heroes that are, based upon pre-existing heroes, and because they don't look like they're technically kid sidekicks. There's got to be about almost 30 new teen characters in the Marvel universe just introduced in the past few years. I'm not even thinking about the new Warriors: Safe Space, Snowflake, Be Positive, Trailblazer, and the other guy. None of those characters made it anywhere on any of those teams, even under a new nickname. You know what I mean? What else did we read this week? We got Miles Morales, Spider-Man 31, which is part 4 of a crossover with Deadpool. It's really stupid. I don't like it. I've been reading Miles Morales Spider-Man by Cody Ziegler for months, several months. I looked forward to it. I always thought the art was endearing. It's very modern. It's a very modern Marvel book. So, and it's been actually for me an example of the Marvel House method, you know, the style of writing, what they're aiming at. I know. Star Destroyer just passed overhead. They're searching for these lost droids. Make America grateful again. That's right. Ooh. What else did we read? Magic number 3. So yeah, Miles Morales Spider-Man 31. I've hit the wall with this, with the crossover. So at 29, I was issue 29 2 issues ago. I was still kind of tuned in. They were just wrapping up this arc where Black Panther is trying to help Miles defeat his vampirism because he got bit in Blood Hunt, and he got a vibranium, augmented spider suit with a new design, and he's hanging out with the spider god Anazi, and then this Deadpool crossover just hit the fucking brakes on any of that, and I'm like, oh god, this is Magic number 3. And probably in a 5-issue mini, Ilyana Rasputin. See, if this had a better artist, like I'm just thinking, because the first thing in the issue number 1, the cold open, it's Ilyana's 25th birthday. So guess what? She's fair game to be objectified, to look at her lustfully. She's a beautifully drawn character, blonde hair, blue eyes, wears very fetish like clothing. You know what I mean? Somewhere goth, kind of not quite emo. She's a dark witch of, you know what I mean? She's not really a witch. She's got a demon side. I mean, I love her as a character, but a book like this, if they could only have gotten like Milo Manara or Stefan Sajak, that could have been the selling point. Especially like a Red Band, where it's about explicit content, where you can actually go there and have something a bit more, perhaps, dare I say, adult. You've grown her up. Let her be a grown-up. Exceptional X-Men number 3, which is a tie-in to the X-Manhunt. It's written by Eve Ewing, and any criticism of this book is a hate crime. It's Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost in Chicago with 3 young new mutants hanging out with, Kitty's hanging out with her now out of the closet gay ex-boyfriend, Bobby Drake, the Iceman. Say that 3 times fast. Terrible art, terrible coloring. I mean, oh gosh, it's 7 issues in this. Yeah. Eddie Brock Carnage issue number 2, written by Charles Soule. Really good art by Jesus Ciez. It's interesting. Jim for Weird Science, we talked about it for about 40 minutes this morning over on his show. So I'll direct you over to his show. Let me drop his link in the chat. We had a 1 hour 37 minute long conversation. Here you go. Yeah, I can't believe Magic is having a monthly series. Sure, I mean, she had a mini series 40 years ago, but Marvel Comics is kind of going back to the well about 40 years. A new Inferno, a new Fall of the Mutants, so it's everything old is retread again. Jim is okay this week. I have proof of life. He's doing all right. And he likes being positive. So he likes, we're getting a groove on our show. This is our second week in a row that it's like, yeah, Sunday morning, 10:30. Yeah, live. Yeah, and we just shoot from the hip and talk about what we liked. So I talked about everything you hear today too. I talked with him. Comic Book Crazy. Hello. Good afternoon, Sully. Thank you for your gratitude videos. They mean a lot to me and have improved my life. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. And together, we can make America grateful again. That's right. I mean, thank you. And just pay it forward. I got it from Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic. He not only gave me the good advice of, hey, get a really good microphone, a decent webcam, and have something to say, which is the distilled advice he gave me, but he also said, hey, have you tried a gratitude list? And I hadn't. I did not get any instructions, though. It's kind of like Ralph, the greatest American hero in season 1. He didn't have the instructions on how to use the suit. So I came up with my own method, and and it's worked for me. And I'm grateful and blessed. And that's really been a big factor in my life. And that's why I can focus on what is good instead of focusing on what I'm lacking, what I've been denied, what had been taken from me, what I've broken. Instead of focusing on the negatives, gratitude crafts your vision to look at the positives. It's a good place to be. Everyone has their things to bear in life, their bills to pay. But is everyone truly grateful for what they have? And they count their blessings? So Eddie Brock Carnage #2 is pretty good. It's a lot like Dexter. So Eddie Brock he needed to live at the end of Venom War. He's come a long way since the King in Black and defeating Null to be like the symbiote god and coming from the God Garden, in Null space. And now he's back in Planet Earth and a street level grounded character. And he needed to survive at the end of Venom War. So he allied with someone else that needed to survive, and it was Carnage. So Eddie Brock has made a deal with Carnage that they can only eat serial killers. So Eddie Brock is going back to basics. He started off as a journalist at the Daily Bugle. He was making up his clickbait, as we say today, and Peter Parker called him out on it. And Eddie Brock got himself fired, but Peter Parker helped expose him. So that's why Eddie Brock hated Peter. And then he found the Venom symbiote, who hated Peter just as much as Eddie Brock did. They were a match made in hell. From Venom came Carnage as a symbiote, the offspring. Carnage bonded with a serial killer, Cletus Cassidy. And from there you go. One of the most grotesque horror villains, Jack the Ripper meets Plastic Man. There you go, Carnage. And so Eddie Brock and Carnage have always been kind of, they've never been friends. But this is a new way to mix up things. So it's interesting. And the art is pretty great. I really like the art a lot in this. It has room to be really grotesque. It can be a good horror book. I'll give it that much. Am I planning on any more cooking videos? I've watched all your old ones. Oh, cool! That gives me inspiration to get up there and do it. Yeah, I will be. Yeah, I'm still moving in to be sure. I need to set up, stuff in my kitchen to be able to do demos, and I need to, find, there's a will, there's a way, and it'll happen. Thank you. I like cooking. And speaking of, this is WOKE Progressive Radio. That's right. For dinner, we're having vegan meatloaf. It's made with sawdust, saran wrap, purified water made from the tears of thirsty Republicans. The best kind. Locally sourced. Globally aware. WOKE. Progressive radio. I'm just a big goof, I swear. Spot on NPR voice. Thank you. Thanks. Only a couple more of these to go. So yeah, Carnage was a hit. Yeah, and I got Jim reading it, which is good because he's like, I don't know what you like. I don't know. You're reading these books and you're talking well about them, and like yeah, I check them out. He's checked them out, and he's like, wow, I like it. That's cool. Deadpool Wolverine #3 by Joshua Cassara on art. Ben Percy is the writer. It's pretty good. It's over the top. It's cartoony. It's hyper violent. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's fun. Check it out. Daredevil Unleash Hell #3. Red Band. This is the only Red Band book that is taking full advantage of its graphic content. Warning. It's Electra Daredevil versus Muse, who uses blood as paint for their canvas and body parts for their sculpture. Muse is dead, but came out of hell to possess a woman who's an artist. And so you have Electra Daredevil versus Muse. And it's a pretty decent book. I mean, the art in this is pretty spot on. It's a hit from Erica Schultz. So give credit where credit is due. Speaking of the opposite of that, we got Cable, Love and Chrome #3, written by David Papus, and art. Yeah. And seeing that Mr. Papus is Pepos. His name is David Pepos. I'm being an asshole because I don't have to be nice. And I don't, he blocked me on Twitter for, Jason being on a list, whatever. It had nothing to do with a direct interaction. So he gets no break from me. I could be nice to it and just be like, this, that, the other thing. But no, it's boring. It's whatever, kid. Yeah. Don't worry. People are liking it. I don't have to. And that's that. Avengers 24. It's Jed McKay with really good art by Farid Karami. It's the Casino Job Part 3. It's a lot of good art. And it's really over the top. It's actually a really good issue of Avengers. Yeah, sure. And yeah, not much to say about it. Yeah. All right. So what's your top 10? I mean, so hanging out with Jim reviewing books. He asks for a score. What's your score on this, Sully? And that score is from 1 to 10. And there is no, let me get 10-point scale. Okay, the 10-point scale. Here, oh, gee. All right, here we go. Farm to table. What was it? That's the wrong button. Don't mind me. I've been eating gummies all day. All right, here we go. How does that look? Jeez, it's tiny. All right, so a 10-point scale. this down. All right. So anything between a 9 and a 10 is an A. Anything between a 9 and a 2 is an A minus. So an 8.8 and an 8.9 is a B plus. 8.3 through 8.7 is a B. 8.2 to 8.0 is a B minus. And once you enter the sevens, that's a C. All right, a C plus is a 7.8, 7.9. A straight C, is 7.3 to 7.7. A C minus is a 7.0 to 7.2. And then 6.8 to 6.9 is a D plus. 63 to 67 is a D. 60 to 62 is a D minus. And anything between 59 and 0 is an F. And so that's a usual 10-point scale. But then I come into this. With using the CGC grading system for comic books, unironically. Like spine roll, corners, dings, things, little imperfections in your floppies that are going to reduce the quality of your comic book. You know, a 9.2 in the Overstreet price guide is that's the best you can get for your book. Your book, if you kept it in a bag and a board, no dings, is probably a 9.2, and that's where your price starts on that. Now, then you have to get it professionally graded after that, because professional grade can go all the way up to 9.8, 9.9, 9.8, 9.9, and the rare 10.0, which is a gem. That means it's never been read. It basically came off of the press and into a slab. A slab is the clear the clear plastic, and then you have the information on the top. But so 9.2, that's top dollar. You know what I mean? And it only gets better from there to the A plus territory. I mean, so it's hard to get a 9 out of me because of that. A 9.0, a 9.2, that's really good. That's like A minus territory, okay? So but an 8.0 to 8.2, that's a B minus. If you use the 10-point scale to the lettering grades of like school lettering. But the 8.0 has a much lesser, is probably a couple of dollars worth less. And it goes from there. I don't know. But I've been using the 10-point scale more and more. I've never really used the 10-point scale to judge comics. There's a 5-point scale too, which is would be a condensed version, and a 100-point scale is just moving the decimal point over from your 10-point scale. It's the same thing, So it's really hard for me to give a 9. For things have to be really good to get a 9 out of me. Did we get any 9s this week? I read a bunch of. I've read Adventureman Family Tree #1 from Matt Fraction with art by Terry and Rachel Dodson. I got some Adventureman, the last one he put out, and it didn't land with this guy, because it's not made for guys like me. It's made for progressive people. This is WOKE. That's right, progressive radio, progressive comic books, made for progressive people. We're expanding the borders of Portland, Oregon, to encompass your heart and your wallets. That's right. WOKE supports very, very biased comics. That's right. That, technically it's all 3 of them, but this is issue 3 of 3, and I had it when I was a kid, and I was 8 years old when the Columbia 10-speed racer banner ad was on. I was 8 going on 9 that November, so a lot of pocket change went to those kind of comics. So I have got a whole bunch of these Columbia 10-speed racer banner contest on my spinner rack, because that's like that for me. It's I've always wanted that. That fulfills me as a comic book fan. But yeah, that's specifically Raiders of the Lost Ark 3 of 3, Marvel Comics adaptation. So yeah, this issue of Adventure Man, it's still girl forward. At least maybe now I know what to expect from it as a brand. It's still not made for me. It's still like, girl forward. And sure, why not? At least I hope whomever this is made for is buying it. But I found it was a very strong story. And I had a good A story and a good B story. And it worked. And beautiful art by the Dodsons. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's just there are very few things that I want as collections. Like I would like to get every issue of Marvel Shogun Warriors. There's got to be less than 50 of those. I would love to get every issue of Marvel Star Wars. There's 107 of those plus 3 annuals. And I think I probably have maybe 30 of them. So I only have, and I would love to get every issue of Marvel's Battlestar Galactica from 1978 to 1980, 81. I've got a bunch of ROM, but having the whole run of that never got, I would like to get that old G.I. Joe, but I have the Skybound compendium, and the same goes for Transformers. I mean, I'm going to get the Skybound compendium for that too. So I don't have to worry about the floppies of that. But there were very few runs and collections that I want to get. But it was like something attainable and manageable, like every issue of Shogun Warriors. Dude, that would be fun. Every issue of Battlestar Galactica, because there's not that many of them. Bug Wars #2 by Jason Aaron and Company. Pretty decent comic book. It was fun. Crush Depth #1. Oops. I lost the creator info. Crush Depth, Mad Cave Studios. It was pretty decent. Yeah. It's about underwater. It's like life. It's about the life aquatic. It seems though there was a cataclysm on land, and then survivors had to, go underwater and live in their giant submarines, and it's about a scavenger life and about survival. And then it's pretty interesting. Dreamweaver Giant Size Special. I saw a lot of similarities with Frank Miller's Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. You have this aging superhero with a young female sidekick protege that he's, sharing the power with in a way. The Rockefellers #4 by Peter Tomasi and Company. It's all right. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but I liked Peter Tomasi a lot. And it's part of Ghost Machine, and I'm rooting for it. Although it's just like, it's not my cuppa. We have The Last Boy, 1 of 5, written by Dan Panosian, who's mostly known for his art. I didn't know that Peter Pan was in the public domain, because it's a Peter Pan tale. And my Twitter keeps blowing up because of that Daredevil cover. Wow. If only I can get more subscribers and then get them to come over here to YouTube where I want more subscribers. Yes, I will. I gotta catch them all, Pika. Gotta catch them all. That's what Pika says to me. He whispers it in my ear. The Last Boy. It's about Peter Pan, and it's about, like, everyone around him that he knows is grown up just a little bit, and he has stayed the same. And so he's still trying to do the same things he's been doing, but everyone around him has aged, even Captain Hook. And he's kind of just like, he's, I can see it from here. It's like, oh, he's just the boy there who refuses to grow up. And how other people are like, oh, wow, well, you really still haven't grown up, you're still wanting to, like, yeah, interesting. It's not bad. Who are the Power Pals? This was an interesting book. I might pick it up if I see it, because support local stuff. Well, not local stuff, but support indie stuff. And if you ever liked Brian Michael Bendis's and Michael Avon Emming's powers, then you're really gonna like this book. The art is very reminiscent of Michael Avon Emming, so much so that I thought that he did the cover art. Like, oh wow, no, it's just a stylistic thing. The guy is that's the style he's chosen, and why ruin it with over explaining it? Just no. If you find it, maybe just pick it up. It's fun. I'm gonna, if I see it, I'm totally gonna. And that's it for my pirate chests. What's in the bag? What's in the bag? It's what we do near the end of the show. We profile what I got at the local comic book shop this week on New Comic Book Day. A big thing about this show is that we support our local comic book shops, and we're proud of it. We are the people that will save comics. How will we save comics? We will go to our local comic book shops and we will buy our comics there. We will also eschew our online supply chain, and we will get our supplies at the local comic book shop. The LCSS of, oh my gosh, I should relearn ASL, at least the alphabet, if you're gonna do that. So yeah, I buy my supplies there, my bags, my boards, my boxes, and I get my new releases every week. So I had 3 on my pull list, and I got 1 off of the shelves. Let's get down to it. New Gods number 4 by Ram V, Evan Kagel, and the first 3 pages are by Bernard Chang in a flashback scene. This is a good place for Ram V to let loose with that big brain of his. I usually love what Ram V does. He's very good at his job. He's into the mythic. He's into the poetic. He's into, like, he's got that Grant Morrison thing, but he's his own person. He's not trying to ape Grant Morrison. He's just trying to make Ram V stories, but it ends up, being that whimsical, that Neil Gaiman thing, the Grant Morrison thing, like the old Vertigo thing. I'm into it. It's not for everyone. I got The Sacrificers number 15 by Rick Remender, Max Fumara, and Dave McKeag. Part 4 of 4, No Light Beyond. Well, here. Is it Pigeon versus the Sun? We will find out. And this is a great book. I got this off the shelf because Jim and I covered it last week. And I'm all about, hey, if it's a good book, you deserve to go back and buy it. I got Nick Fury versus Fin Fan Foom number 1 by J. Michael Straczynski, art by Elena Casagrande. This is the B cover, the variant cover by Elena Casagrande. I love the face here. It's very Tim Sale-like. And Brian Hitch did the A cover. And this was a fun book. I really enjoyed it. I got 2 out of 3 of them. They're sold out of Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon. And I'm finding myself that I'm liking this. It's very much like Marvel Team Up. And my pick of the week, G.I. Joe number 5, Energon Universe. This is the Ryan Sook C cover. I love. Here are your variant covers this month. I like having a Baroness cover, and I'm given the opportunity that because my local comic book shop carries these variant covers, and why not? Because that's what they're there for. And I'm just like, oh wow, I'm a sucker for a Baroness cover, and I almost got the B cover here by David Finch, but I was like, I had a choice. There was one Ryan Sook left, same cover price. You got a Valkyrie too, the Travis Moore. That's what they call the female Cobra soldiers. They call them Valkyries. Apparently, one of their jobs is to slay the wounded on the battlefield. And yeah, hey, that's what Napoleon's cavalry did. Seriously, that's why he won all those wars. So, yeah, it's dishonorable. Anything else going on this week? Jeez, I think we covered it all. Okay, let's wrap it up. It's time for supper. Oh, thank goodness. I love supper time. I'm having meatloaf tonight with scalloped potatoes and green beans. That's right. WOKE Progressive Radio. Brought to you by Vegan Meatloaf, Sandpaper, Elmer's Glue. Let it soak overnight. Oh man, I'm so mean, aren't I? Oh, geez, Pika, you're right. I'm just. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm starting to get a little mush mouth, and I'm starting to lose my voice. It's my third show this weekend. Wow. I was on YouTube all weekend talking comic books. But thank you very much for continuing this comic book shop style conversation here at Reverend Sully's channel. Think about subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, smash that like button, turn on those notifications, ring that bell. But it's my goal to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And I literally can't do it without your help. So be part of it. We're going to be doing more cooking videos and spirituality and gratitude. I feel that one of the next waves of YouTube fandom, I can see it coming. It's going to be an evangelical thing. It's going to be faith-based. It's going to be spiritually oriented. And I'm here for that. And I want to mix pop culture with spirituality. And maybe, sometimes you can miss someone with a Bible quote, but if you know how to properly quote Watchmen, maybe you can make a bigger impact, or your Star Wars, or your Star Trek, or your Doctor Who. Some of these things used to have such a very big impact on us, emotionally and spiritually. So hopefully, that's where I'd like to go with this, because I can see the winds of change, and there is a rising. Like it's a cycle. 40 years ago, there was the age of the TV evangelical, and it was like local programming, and that's going to have a resurgence. And YouTube is ripe. It's a fertile land, and there will be some sprouting going on. Alrighty. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you next week here at the Super Sully Sunday stream, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Also, look for me on Wes's Thinking Critical, 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings, U.S. Eastern. Also, look for me first thing in the morning on weekdays. I usually do my gratitude show. It's called Live and Learn, the morning gratitude show, where I'm going to make America grateful again. It's been one of the most positive forces in my life. How am I able to talk so positively about some comic books? Well, because I have gratitude in my life, and it's really helped me see my perspective, and I've gained a better purpose, and I've found some peace. God bless. Namaste. Good luck, and we will see you in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye. All right.